And this is how you repay me? By disfiguring me and running away like a coward? You abandoned me when I needed you the most.
Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. I mean, it looks sick, but, I can't forgive you.
Hey! Listen!
Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Espoir du Vide, and with this next game, please heed the warnings because it's gonna get dark. This game is called Don't Turn Away From Me. The office is bathed in soft beige light. Pillows are piled everywhere, the kind you just want to sink into. I'm sitting on a plush couch across from my therapist. The smell of coffee drifting through the room makes me feel almost cozy, safe. So, you're still feeling anxious. Last time we talked about you moving to a new city, finding a job. You did really well, but the fear is still there? Not yet, because I think he survived. Tell her about him, tell her about the escape, tell her about the guilt. I think we better learn who we're dealing with. Tell her about him. Who's him? He was everywhere. Every move I made, everything I did, he tracked it, controlled it. When did you first realize it? When did you feel like you were under his control? For a long time I didn't notice. There were hints, but I wrote them off as some kind of weird caring. I never thought he was capable of that. 3 years ago, he bought a house, said it was our future. Then one day I found a gap between the closets. Inside there was a tie, a phone, personal belongings of people who'd gone missing over the past year. They all had one thing in common. They were all connected to me. Some had been rude to me, some were in love with me, and some were close, really close. He was an obsessed killer, and by then I had no one to turn to. He'd taken everything away from me. How long were you in this relationship? About a year, maybe more. I endured it. At first, when things were good, he came out of nowhere, the one person who actually supported me. Looking back, I should have known it meant something. I trail off, my mouth going dry. The psychologist scribbles quickly, her pen scratching against the paper. That evening, he came home, cheerful with that smile of his, and suddenly it felt wrong. He demanded love, demanded intimacy. I said no. He noticed the change in me. All I could think about was how to leave without it turning ugly, but he kept pushing. He got cruel. Things between us had soured, and he knew it. That's when he changed, and I think he started to suspect. One more thing, this feeling of losing control. You mentioned it started before you decided to seek help. Yes, I gripped the couch, hesitant to share the details. He was always insistent about everything, and at first I thought it was just love, passion, the way it is with couples. Children. He wanted children, desperately. I was terrified. I wasn't ready. I'd just find the pills and take them. Did you talk to him about it? Over and over, but he always did what he wanted. He never used protection, like he wasn't even listening to me. Then he started hitting me. He was angry that I'd grown cold. I was so scared. I barely felt the pain. He kept me locked up for 3 months. I take a deep breath, pulling myself back to the reality of this cozy office. Alright, so we're already off to a terrible start. What if I go back and maybe get some more? I think we need to know more about this backstory. Tell her about the escape. For a long time, I was too scared to run. He's not stupid, so I had to plan it carefully. I gathered my courage. I was going to slip through the backyard past the shed. I did everything right, almost made it, and then, out of nowhere, his hand was around my throat before I even reached the gate. The blow was so hard I hit the ground. He was screaming something, demanding answers. Then he went into the house for rope or a knife. I don't know where the strength came from, but I grabbed the oil can. Everything was a blur. I don't know how, but I have enough time to grab the lighter and the gas. Oh. I splashed it everywhere in the shed, and when he came through the door, my fingers, the ones holding the lighter, just dropped it. Right onto the floor, into the flames. I bet that looked sick. The fire shot up to the ceiling in an instant. The beams collapsed and pinned him down. I saw his hand reaching out for me, calling my name, but I couldn't help him. I couldn't do anything. The flames were licking at me, almost cutting off my escape. I just turned and ran, while I still could. I blame myself so much. It's the weight on my soul, suffocating me, just like the smoke from that fire. I take a deep breath, pulling myself back to the reality of this cozy office. Hold on a second. I want some more of this lore. Tell her about the guilt that I should not have, the guilt that does not exist. Is the guilt in the room with us? I saw him burning, but I never saw him dead, and that terrifies me. What if he survived? That's your fear talking, not the facts. Look at it logically. The building collapsed. A fire that intense. You saw it with your own eyes. I can still feel his hand on me. Sometimes I feel him like he's here. I'm scared. That's called sensory memory. Your brain recorded the moment of mortal danger. What you did was self-defense. You didn't kill him. You saved yourself. I blame myself so much. It's this weight on my soul, suffocating me just like the smoke from that fire. I take a deep breath, pulling myself back to the reality of this cozy office. The scratching of the pen stops. She sets it down slowly on her clipboard and looks at me sympathetically, but with a hint of shock in her eyes. That's an incredibly traumatic situation. You were so brave to make that choice. It's a miracle you're alive. Look at it from another angle. You're here now, not there, not in that place. Right now you're safe. Nothing is threatening you. Yet. But I understand. You've been carrying this secret alone in a strange city. It's an enormous burden. The fact that you survived, that you found the strength to come here, that is your path to healing. Your mind is trying to punish you with paranoia because you feel guilty. He's gone. Your fear, your suffering, it's over. Repeat after me. I have the right to a life without Fedor. 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 I have the right to a life without him. Good. We'll stop here for today. You need to rest. Try to do something nice for yourself today. Go home. Make that tea I recommended. Do something that calms you. You need to ground yourself in the reality where Fedor no longer exists. He sounds like a Final Fantasy villain, Fedor. Her eyes flick to the clock, noting the time. Same time next week? Yes. Thank you so much. I always feel so much lighter after our sessions. I step outside the office. The spring sun blinds me. I stand there, breathing in the fresh air, trying to hold on to that feeling of lightness she gave me. The walk home took only 20 minutes. I cut through the park, watching the people pass by. No one hiding their face, no one following me. Since I moved, I've actually started to feel free, like life is finally starting to get better. The birdsong calmed my mind. My heart felt light, peaceful. This is the new me. This is my new life. Everything's fine. At home, I turned the key into the lock out of habit. I didn't even bother turning on the TV. The silence didn't scare me anymore. Maybe I should get a cat or something. It gets hard being alone, especially when evening comes. What a mess. I should clean up. My feet carried me to the shelf on the nightstand. There, among the unopened boxes from the move, was the one box I couldn't bring myself to put away. Opened the box, set it aside. Let's open that box up. Oh, the photo was from the height of summer. We were celebrating something on the porch of his dacha. It was my birthday. In the background, Blank and Blank were arguing about something, their faces blurred from laughter and motion. Everything in that picture practically shimmered with light. It felt like you could reach out and feel the warmth. In the center of the frame was me and him. Oh, is that him with the red hair? He was holding the cake, and I had my arms around his shoulders. Back then, I thought everything was fine. Oh. A chill ran through me. I can't remember their faces. We're not going to talk about that? I grabbed a quick bite, washed up, and sat down to rest. All right, back to the office tomorrow. Sleep came instantly. New day. Thursday. 2 days on, 2 days off schedule. After the weekend, the office felt gray and dusty, but the routine was soothing. Papers, reports, numbers. There's no room for the past in them. I'd been working for about 6 hours, lost in the monotonous click of keys, when a colleague from the next department came over. Hey! She leaned on my desk, holding a plastic cup of coffee. Look, sorry to bother you, but I think you should know. Some guy came by. He said, "Where's Espoir?" Your full name. I stopped typing. My heart lurched. And who was it? I didn't really get a good look. Tall guy, wearing a jacket. Someone you know? I don't know. The news hit me like a shock. Who could be looking for me, especially at this hour? Probably someone from billing. I forgot to pay a bill. What a terrible excuse, I thought to myself. Oh, okay then. I told him you're on shift until 10. He didn't say anything, just left. If you work with someone, and someone comes into the store and asks, "Hey, where's so-and-so, or when does so-and-so get off?" Lie! Do not tell them where your coworker is, who your coworker is, when your coworker will get off. Gee, thanks, 4 pink asterisks, coworker. Never. Somebody comes up to you and asks you a question like that about your coworker, do not answer them the truth. I mean, as you can clearly see here, that's going to put me in grave danger. I couldn't afford to give anyone a single lead. If I so much as hint there's a guy, it'll spread through the whole department. They already think I'm weird. The quiet mouse who never joins anyone for tea during breaks. I haven't had time to settle in. I just started recently. Haven't told anyone anything about myself. I believe I'll make friends eventually, fit in with the new team, but for now, my world is just this desk. For the next half hour, my mind wandered about how I'd run out of that calming tea at home, and about him. Who could be asking for me here? Who even knows my name? Yeah, 'cause I'm in a whole new place. Maybe it's my therapist. No, it's impossible. He's dead. That fire in the shed, there's no way he survived, unless we're in some kind of visual novel. The workday ended sooner than I expected. People said their goodbyes and left one by one, but I lingered, trying to decide where to go. The bus wouldn't come for a while, and home was several blocks away. Go to the store, go straight home, go to the police! Go to the police! I'm not nervous, it's just a feeling that something might happen. Like, can somebody just park in front of my apartment for a few days, please? I need to be sure. To heck with therapy. I know it was him. Even if it wasn't, I need to know if his death was ever officially recorded. That's a good idea. That's a really good idea. But then again, what if he's that crazy to fake his own death? Now I regret not looking into it sooner. I was terrified, but not enough to lose control. Thinking with my emotions right now wouldn't help me. I was practically running to the nearest police station, gripping my bag strap. A faint hope flickered inside me. Here, they'll protect me. He wouldn't dare touch me here. Harsh, cold light, peeling walls and the duty station. The smell of cheap tobacco and old paper. Ugh. Behind the desk sat a tired officer who wouldn't even look at me, just flipping through some logbook. Hello?
Good evening. How can I help you?
I want to report a stalker. Today a strange man came to my office and asked for me by name. I give him the details.
Did he threaten you? Cause you any emotional or physical harm?
No, but I know who it is. 6 months ago he hurt me. I had to move away.
Now me, he did a whole lot more than hurt you. Look, just because someone asks for your name at work doesn't automatically make it a crime. On what grounds can we open a case with no evidence? Come back where there's an actual threat.
Oh, you mean when I'm dead in the basement?
We have serious calls here, not domestic disputes. Have a good night.
I'm gonna have a good night when I'm chained in somebody's basement. I step outside, shaken. I was counting on their help. Why do I have to wait until he puts a knife to my throat to have the right to protection? This is so unfair. Stalking laws. Why isn't this taken seriously? I know, right? The moment I have a problem, the moment I actually need help, and he's smart. He knows that if he didn't actually do anything, there'll be no consequences for him. That gives him complete freedom.
He's like, standing outside your window isn't a crime.
Relying on the law was useless without proof. It's my own fault for coming empty-handed. It's already pitch black outside. I glance at my watch and freeze. Oh no. No. The bus is gone. The last one. I'm almost done now, the wind cutting through me. Walking home via the main road would take forever.
Ah, pooh. I'll have to take a shortcut. Ah, double pooh.
Through the courtyards. It'll only take a few minutes. I'll just run fast and be back in my little warm apartment. The paranoia hit me again. My hands were shaking worse than ever. I walked quickly through the dark street, the cold wind biting my skin. I could already see the lights of my street ahead, just one long corridor left to cross. And then a shadow detached itself from the wall. A man stood right in my path. His silhouette blocked the only way out of the alley. Oh no, I don't want to have to kill someone in this alley today. I've got 30 years of pent-up rage and I really don't feel like murdering you. Can you just get out of my way?
So, you decided to go to the police.
Who is this? But that voice, I know it. He survived? He started moving towards me slowly, and I realized there was nowhere to run. What about back in the direction I just came from? I stepped back.
Did you really think those people in uniforms could protect you from me? I thought about how unfair this world is, worked myself to the bone, couldn't sleep at night, thinking about you. And you betrayed me.
He was so close now, I could smell the ointments on him. Ointment? His intentions towards me were clear. Flufferdoodles! You survived!
Imagine that. Yeah.
He'd got so close that... He grabbed my arm and yanked me towards the black car parked in the shadows. Aw, man!
Just yell back at the police station, "Hey, I'm currently being kidnapped. Are y'all gonna do anything about this?"
It's Fedor. That's his voice. How the heck did he survive?
Get in. Don't try anything stupid.
You don't know me very well, Fedor. I'm going to do all the stupid things. I climbed inside. My hands were shaking so badly I couldn't move them, let alone fight back. In the dim glow of the interior light, I saw his bandages. Dirty white strips peeked out from under his sleeves, wrapped tight around his neck, disappearing beneath his clothes, hiding whatever was left of him. Ugh. My God, you look terrible. My voice broke. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. When he pulled back his hood, I saw that familiar shade of hair. No doubt about it, it was him. Fedor, but how? The roof collapsed on you. You should be dead.
Dead? You thought you could get rid of me that easily?
Everything was happening so fast, so forcefully. He leaned over me, binding my wrists and ankles with duct tape. His movements were quick and practiced. All I could smell was something sweet and medicinal ointment.
Bear with it, sweetheart. This is so you don't do anything stupid on the way.
You think this is going to stop me from being stupid? The seatbelt tightened across my chest. To finish, he took a gray blanket folded like a gift for me and draped it over me.
There. Just sit tight until the car warms up.
Oh, gee, thanks. Something rustled in his pockets. Before I could say anything, I felt a sharp, prickling object near my head like a syringe. Ah! A sharp pain burned my neck, and warmth spread through my veins. When he was done, he slammed the back door shut and got behind the wheel. I could feel him, watching me.
It's going to be a long drive. The drug won't kick in right away, so we have time to talk.
He pressed the gas gently.
So, did your therapist teach you how to run from your problems? Tell me. I'm very interested.
How does he know? I was scared. I was scared. I couldn't sleep. I just wanted it to stop.
So, I was in your dreams after all.
Shut up!
See, you didn't want to let me go either. You didn't need a doctor. You needed me.
I tried to respond, but my tongue felt thick. Consciousness slowly sank into the oblivion the drug left behind. My head fell against the leather seat. I couldn't fight the sleep.
Ooh.
I drifted back to consciousness slowly. My head hurts, and it smells in here. The moment I tried to move, to rub my eyes, I couldn't. My arms wouldn't respond. My legs were frozen. I flinched when I saw them on the floor. Dead bees? Wasps? They were scattered near me. Bees? I tried to jerk away, but my body just pressed harder against the radiator. I looked down at myself. My clothes were gone. I was wearing nothing but a thin, fluffy robe. Oh, okay. I'm not completely and utterly nude. He changed me while I was out, took off my clothes and strapped me in. The realization made me sick. Footsteps. A door opening. You look great.
Bad news, I'm afraid. It's eczema.
You look great, sweetheart. He walked in, and in this unfamiliar room, I saw him, fully in the light. He used to be thinner. Now his arms looked more lethal, stronger. He clearly hadn't let himself go during this time. He didn't want to hide himself anymore.
That outfit looks good on you. Really brings out your delicious curves.
Why, thank you for noticing. Shut up! I didn't want to hear his twisted thoughts. Have you completely lost your mind? You touched me while I was asleep? Let me go!
How could I ever let you go? You were asleep for 2 days. I was just trying to make you comfortable. You always turn everything into a tragedy. You don't appreciate what I do. For us.
Right, of course. Kidnapping and murdering innocent people is just normal for you.
You're so fixated on those people. You need to let go of the past. Forget about it. Start over with a clean slate. As for them, I saw, and I understand that person would never stand beside you again. If you only knew what they were really like, you'd understand.
I will never understand you, or what you've done.
You were always safe. Didn't you notice how your problems just disappeared? Understand this, Espoir. Some people deserve to die.
Then by that logic, you deserve to die too, yeah. Uno reversed on you. I realized then how sick he really was. He needed help. Maybe I should... You want to see my therapist? But he didn't care. He just kept talking. Why are there dead insects here?
Oh, those? They were weak, unfortunately. Forgot to clean them up. I started a bee farm. You know, it brings in decent money. I'll show you those little creatures later.
They were weak and you just... Okay. He kept talking about what he'd been doing, how he built the business from nothing. This wasn't the time for small talk, not when you're chained to a radiator.
I sold our old house and bought this one. It's empty for now, but with you here, it's already coming to life.
Great. So I'm probably in another city now, too. I wanted to hurl more insults at him. Then my eyes landed on his hands. Bandaged up to the shoulders, scars peeking out from under the gauze. Something inside me shifted, the hatred curdling to something heavier. Guilt. Again, what guilt should you be feeling now? There should be no guilt. I stared at those bandages, and I knew I did this. He noticed me staring.
Like what you see? Your handiwork?
I looked away, guilty, because I knew it was my fault.
Hey, what's wrong? You wanted this. Now you'll look at me every day, and remember that day.
I hated him with everything I had, but in that moment, I hated myself too, for leaving him there, for him surviving to become my eternal curse. Show no remorse, be cruel, don't start nothing.
won't be nothing.
The only thing I regret is that I turned away and ran instead of staying to watch you burn. You deserved every scar under those bandages. Don't you get it? You're sick.
Looks like I raised you poorly. It's indecent to be so ungrateful. You haven't learned.
My eyes started around, my lips pressed tight, my head started shaking from fear, and he definitely noticed.
There it is. Your true nature.
You're such a selfish bastard. Do you even care about me? Yeah. About how I feel? Yeah. This is not
husband behavior.
More silence.
Ow.
Then a sharp slap across my face. The pain was sudden. It brought back all the fear I felt when he used to hit me. Another one.
Ow.
And another.
Quit it! Or maybe I should say, oh, is that supposed to be a punch? Why don't you get your mom to punch me? I bet you can hit harder. How do you feel? You want some more?
I shook my head in protest. His actions terrified me, especially when it was revenge for something stupid I'd done. Whenever I did something he didn't like, he punished me brutally. I'm starting to think that this guy's not a very good boyfriend.
You're the selfish one here. You don't understand. I did it for us, for your own good. And this is how you repay me? By disfiguring me and running away like a coward? You abandoned me when I needed you the most, but because you ran, I couldn't take any risks.
Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. That's all. Oh, that's so terrible. Oh man, I feel so bad. Oh, bad espoir. I'm so bad.
I hope you didn't think I'd let this slide. Your actions were treasonous. That fire left me disfigured for life, and thanks to who?
He can never admit his own guilt.
I'll make sure you remember this for a long time, so you never disappoint me again. I thought about these scars for a long time, Espoir. I've saved up all my anger, and I almost healed when I got closer to my little creatures. Only they can love someone for their true soul.
Oh, so he's a friend of the bees. I started shaking my head, telling him I'd had enough.
I figured. I don't get it. Why are you so desperate to be free? No one's waiting for you out there. I burned all your documents. To everyone else, you don't exist. Actually, to the American taxes, I exist, and they're gonna find me.
That tiny flicker of hope started dying. No chance, or at least almost none. I stared off into space, lost. It's all going to repeat itself.
For now, we'll focus on your upbringing.
Who the heck is he to raise me? Yeah, you're supposed to be my dad or my daddy. Oh, right. He likes keeping me under control. There's no cure for that. He left the room, leaving me alone, but I knew it wouldn't last. I had a bad feeling. He came back. Just as I expected, plastic sheeting in his hands. The crinkling sound echoed through the half-empty room. Without a word, he approached, lifted me slightly, and spread the plastic underneath me.
I don't like where this is going.
Something bad was definitely about to happen.
Listen, Red, whatever you're about to do, maybe don't.
Why? He didn't answer. He added more straps, immobilizing me completely so I couldn't even turn my head.
I spent all these months healing my wounds, thinking about you. You left them as a souvenir. But you know, I'm not angry. No, it made me stronger. You need to see this.
See? What?
Oh no.
He started unwrapping the bandages from his face. Layer by layer, white gauze fell onto the clear plastic. I squeezed my eyes shut, but he immediately squeezed my jaw hard with his fingers.
No. Look! You have to see this. I mean, you have an excellent jawline.
Then I saw his face fully, without bandages, and now I understand why he hid it. It was disfigured by burns. The left side of his face was different. The skin had become a bumpy texture, like hardened wax. His ears were almost gone, just melted cartilage. He's gonna then wear a mask, and then when I snatch it off, he's going to be like, "Curse you!" And his eye, it was blind, white. It looked so painful, like hot coals had been pressed into it. Ugh. I felt deeply uncomfortable. Now his once handsome face was just a scar. Fire had destroyed it. Touch his cheek? Do nothing? I've got a little bit of sympathy, but not that much. I'm just gonna keep staring at you. I didn't move. My thoughts froze. I just stared at his scars, at that pitiful gaze, that empty eye and burnt ear. This freak just wants to make me feel guilty again. I won't pity him. Never. He studied my face for a long time, searching for any hint of pity or fear, but he only found emptiness.
You're silent.
Words wouldn't help here. I look, and I know there are no justifications. The worst part was his eye, half burnt and covered in a white film. He never fully closed it, which made his gaze both dead and alive at the same time. I am so glad that there's not an image of that right now. I didn't mean to.
Yes, you did. You meant every bit of it. Just me over my own shoulder going, "Yep, I did. I meant to burn you, and I did. Ha ha!"
I stayed silent. I didn't know what to say. I never intended to kill him. No, I just wanted to save myself.
I didn't expect this from you.
Big man like you is gonna try to guilt me. He pulled something out of a drawer.
I'm not letting this slide.
Is that a taser? He plugged it in and waited. He was heating something. The hiss of a gas burner filled the room. Oh no! But when he came back to me, a dull red glow was in his hand.
You left a mark on me that no surgery can erase.
Now, hold on a second. I'm sure they could do something. He took my hand.
My turn. I want to leave my mark on you, too.
He stepped closer with that thing in his hand, and I could feel the heat radiating from it. Are you going to give me a cool tattoo? He stared at my face like he couldn't get enough of it.
You know, bees always recognize their queen by scent, by her unique mark. But people, they're blind. They need to see proof, a visible sign that this territory is already taken.
Oh. I tried to break free. My arm twisted against the crinkling plastic, but he held me down with his knee, using his full weight. He brought the red-hot tip close to his own skin, feeling the heat radiating from that small tool. Fedor, please, I'm begging you. My mom won't let me get a tattoo. My voice cracked, but he wasn't listening. His gaze was fixed on my stomach, like he was choosing his target.
The most delicious part. So, first letter, F.
Ah! He moved the tool with concentration. It felt like 1,000 red-hot needles were stabbing into my stomach, spinning at once, tearing through the tissue.
Why do you keep squirming? You're going to make it crooked.
It's impossible to stay still when someone's burning your flesh.
If only you knew the pain I felt back then. This pain would seem like flowers compared to mine.
The pain was unbearable, spreading through my entire stomach, making my brain want to shut down, but he wouldn't let me pass out. Patting my cheek with his free hand, he burned his name slowly and carefully, like he was tagging livestock.
Just a bit more.
More hissing, that horrible smoke rising from my body. You couldn't do my back or something? I could see the charred edges of letters forming on my skin. The last letters were done, but it seemed like it wasn't enough for him.
No, you know the real me. No point in hiding anymore. You have to love me like this.
I mean, if it weren't for the abuse, and the gaslighting, and the kidnapping, and the punching in the face,
and 10 other things, we could probably make this work.
He turned off the tool and gently blew on the wound.
Look how beautifully it turned out.
When he finally pulled back, I couldn't even cry. My arm burned like it was still on fire. On my red, swollen skin, his name was now burnt into ugly, deep indentations.
The child will see who his father is.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no.
That's not all. One final touch.
I barely had the strength to breathe. I realized again my nightmares were far from over.
Am I going to go up to the police station, lift up my shirt, and go, "Is this enough evidence for you?"
When he finished, he stepped back a few paces. He picked something up from off the table next to me. I thought the worst was over. I didn't understand what it was for, what he was going to do.
You know, I was just about to say, hey, maybe I'm going to get through this with all my limbs intact. Are you about to prove me wrong? Half the colors I could have seen with you are gone now. You biscuit. You took that from me. I was going to be a painter. I was going to be the next Rembrandt. But no, now I can't see red no more.
Then why don't you just kill me? Why are you torturing me like this?
What are you saying? He went silent. I'll never find another like you. I'm so angry, so crushed. I could tear you apart, but I can't. You're all I have left. Please don't make me hurt you again.
What about your bees?
I don't want to hear that kind of talk again, about killing and all that. Understand? I'm a bit of a pacifist. I'm not going to kill you. I can't even bear the thought. I'll help you feel the darkness you pushed me into a year ago. We'll become mirror images of each other. Aren't we the perfect pair?
My God, why is this happening to me? Because you met a cute redhead years ago. He put a metal device on my head and fastened my eyelids open so I couldn't close them. Pookie, you aren't going to do the number one thing I hate the most and mess with my eyeballs, are you?
But you're mistaken if you think you'll get away with this like before. Now fewer questions and more action. I've realized words don't work on you.
Now, with my own eyes, I saw just how sick he really was. No! This is precisely the thing that I hate the most. Take my arms, takes my fingers, but not my eyeballs. He pressed the tip of a blade to my left eyelid. I screamed, trying to jerk away, but the straps on my neck and shoulders held me tight.
Justice is paying for what you took. An eye for an eye. You remember that commandment, don't you, Espoir?
No! His hand shot towards my eye, pressing down with all of his strength. Time stretched into eternity. The scalpel barely scratched my skin. And then... He shoved the tool in, gouging out my left eye. I felt nothing but pain and tears. The agony in the socket seared the wound. Oh, please. I heard the sound of tearing flesh. He was ripping my eye out, pulling the nerve and stretching it.
Stop squirming, or it'll get worse.
I saw everything through a blur. Blood covered half my face, streaming down like a river. Please, let me pass out. You know, Bookums, if you let me keep both of my eyes, it would be a lot easier for me to guide you who is missing an eye. You know? This way, it doesn't even out. We're both, like, having eye troubles. I don't think he cares, though, 'cause he's crazy. I screamed, choking on tears, begging him to stop, promising anything. I saw his disfigured face looming over me, and that eye looking at me with undisguised triumph. That's mine! Give it back! That's my eyeball!
Put that thing back where it came from, or so help me!
He's got a cute smile, though, I gotta say. Despite everything absolutely atrocious that's happening, he's got a cute smile. I'm going to smother you in your sleep.
The pressure was gone. In his fingers was a small, bloody, wet ball. He brought the piece of me to his lips, gently pressing a kiss to it. He grabbed my chin, forcing my mouth open. I tried to clench my teeth, but he pressed on my jaw joints so hard I couldn't fight it.
Take it.
He shoved it into my mouth. That little piece of my flesh touched my tongue. It was slippery and vile. I hate you. So much, Fedor. Nausea rose in my throat, but he clamped my mouth shut, forcing me to take that unbearable swallow. I couldn't swallow, so I spat it out. He caught it in his hand.
You don't want it?
I mean, yeah, I did say that it's mine, but hey, buddy, wait, no, just let me keep it. Just let me put it in a jar of formaldehyde or something. It's mine!
Well then, if you can't, I'll eat it myself.
And he brought that piece to his mouth, licking it like a lollipop.
I want a part of you inside me, Espoir.
Rude! He put the saliva-covered eye in his mouth and started chewing. Slowly. It was pure horror. How dare you take my property? How dare you? Fedor, you know, this relationship will never be the same now that you've done that. I'm sorry, but I think we need to break up. Yeah, things are never going to be the same anymore. I think we should see other people. I think we both should move to separate planets. This relationship is over. I'm sorry.
Since you don't want that, later I'll feed you my until you're full.
What the hell? Oh my god!
I don't think you have enough to keep me full, sir. Also, ew! My god. More punishment. It's like he loves torturing me. I mean, you set a guy on fire, and then he starts dictating your diet.
So, now for the second eye.
What?
I started screaming and begging him not to do it. I didn't want to be completely blind. That's not going to help either of us, Spooky. No, please.
How am I supposed to see the child that you're going to force upon me? I'm just kidding, my love. I wasn't going to do that. I can't take away your ability to look at me, can I?
Oh, well, at least you got your priorities straight. Disgusting jokes that only make me want to cry.
No, we'll see the world the same way. We're the same temperature now, Espoir.
No, I think I'm running a bit hotter than you, because I'm going to find a way to suffocate you in your sleep. He abruptly pulled back and placed the scalpel back on the tray.
I'll make sure it heals nicely.
Metal clinked against the metal, sharp as a gunshot. He laughed, watching my hysterics, watching me bleed my flippin' eyeball.
Oh, you just felt what I felt this whole year.
That furious bloodlust was gone from his eyes. Only a horrible satisfaction remained.
We're even now, my love. Almost. Endure a little longer, and we'll be happy.
He started packing up his tools, and I just sat there on that crinkling plastic, unable to open my eye. I sat there in shock and terrible, oh boy. I sat there in shock and terrible agony and pain and fear, thinking only one thing, that this was my punishment, the one I couldn't escape. Hey there, pre-recorded Espoir here, and may I have 30 seconds of your time. Want me to draw your OCs? Check out my Ko-fi page for art commissions as low as $20. Link in the description. Every week I post a Saturday update blog on both of my Patreons and now also my YouTube channel members. With behind-the-scenes stuff, upcoming games I want to play, life stuff, old lady stuff, and pictures of Daisy. Link in the description. Want to see the full uncensored versions of gameplays I can't show on this channel? Join my adult Patreon for the low price of $1 and being over the age of 18. And then scripts it in the Do you yearn to wear merch of a super obscure free visual novel? Check out my TeePublic and Teespring t-shirt store. Description the in link. Want to support my channel but you have no money? Hit the like button or subscribe. It's free. That's right, free. We're just giving it away. Check out my itch.io page. Play Picture Perfect Boyfriend. It's free. Link in the description. He stepped back again and picked up a box that looked like a first aid kit. He took out a syringe, and I immediately felt even more uncomfortable. What are you gonna do with that?
That was just the warm-up.
How many fluffing punishments has he prepared? He slowly filled it with a liquid from a vial, then held it up to the light, tapping it to let the air bubbles rise. He crouched down in front of me.
Put your feet here.
No. Disobeying was terrifying. In his hand was a syringe filled almost to the top with some unknown liquid. I did as commanded. He placed my feet on his lap. He grabbed them and pressed them closer, holding them in place. Next to him were nails and antiseptic supplies. It was incredibly unpleasant when the needle went into my leg. It was disturbingly strange how skillfully he did it.
I'm doing this for your own good. This way, it won't hurt.
The victims flashed through my mind like lightning. That closet, their belongings that he seemed to collect. He'd clearly done the same to them as he was doing to me. This happened before in the car. First warmth where the liquid went in, and then I didn't notice myself falling asleep, only that my legs were becoming half paralyzed. That's when I started to understand why the nails were next to him.
Wait, you're not gonna put them nails on me? Like straight?
No, please.
Your legs, so disobedient. Beg? Run? Hold on. Save your game? Okay, so it seems I could beg, it seems I could scream, or I could let that timer run out. Wait, what are you gonna do with that hammer?
But my pleas were just background noise. He took my right foot. His fingers found the center of the arch, right between the bones. Oh, that's what he's gonna do. Oh, okay. Owie!
A sharp swing upward.
The nail crushed through the skin and entered the flesh with violent resistance. The pain was sharp, searing. He struck my feet again and again, hammering nails into them as they swelled and bled. You know, honey, there's an easier way to get rid of my feet, instead of putting a bunch of nails in them. Hot, thick blood began pulsing from the wound.
It'll hurt tomorrow, but don't worry. I have painkillers. You'll take them.
I hope you die, you monster! I hate you! I hate you! I hate your stupid face! I hate your stupid scars! I hate your stupid voice! Your hair is nice! Ugh. He struck harder. I felt the metal of the hammer crushing the small bones in my foot. Oh, he was just crushing the bones. You know, I thought he was just putting nails in my foot to be cute. No, he has a purpose here. He's a professional. This time, the pain felt even more unbearable because my mind already knew what was coming. I sat on the crinkling plastic, staring away. Gray spots swam before my eyes. He breathed heavily, examining my feet and wrapping them in bandages to stop the bleeding. How considerate. The pain was so extreme, my nervous system just gave up. I no longer felt the burning, only a heavy emptiness consuming my entire body. He leaned down and kissed my forehead as I trembled in shock, watching my feet sink into a pool of my own blood.
I won't let you run from me again.
He quietly praised me for enduring his monstrous plans.
Just need to change your clothes and clean you up.
He sighed, looking at the bloodstains.
Blood got on your clothes. That's not good.
He started pulling off my ruined clothes. I didn't resist. He could do whatever he wanted. That part of me that felt fear and hatred seemed to have burned away with the skin on my stomach. Later, he picked up a wooden box filled with clean water. A box? A wooden box filled with water? Probably a basin or something. I probably shouldn't be worried about how he has a wooden box full of water, and more about the fact that my foot is ruined. In his hands was a white cloth and a blue sponge. Oh, how considerate. He carefully wiped my body, tracing every part, treating the wounds. Thankfully, because of the painkiller he'd injected, I barely felt anything. But those drugs wouldn't save me from the pain in my soul. After a few minutes, only a ghostly trace remained of the clean, clear water. His touch seemed saturated with twisted, sick love.
Your old life was so empty. All those strangers, that job and those stupid conversations. Now, you have me. Thankfully, I won't make that mistake again, but I also value your desire to move, so when your feet heal, we can go on our honeymoon as I've planned. We'll have a beautiful wedding, just you and me.
He sank into his dreams, dreams that never intersected with mine, as he wiped away the last drops of blood. My blood, you know, from how you massacred me? His gaze roamed over my exposed body, shamelessly unable to look away.
You can't run anymore.
Well, I mean, I could, but it's going to be very difficult.
I won't allow it. Now it's all clean,
he whispered, putting a new dress on me that smelled so pleasant, like fresh laundry, and I was momentarily distracted.
My beauty.
He slowly reached out and lifted me into his arms. When he picked me up, I couldn't feel the strength to resist. My head fell against his shoulder. Under my cheek, I felt the rough fabric of the gauze and the warmth of his broken body. As he carried me up the stairs, I could see the place was newly built, run down already, like it hadn't been touched in years. It needed serious work. I didn't even know what town or city I was in, but knowing him, he had always dreamed of moving to the countryside, away from everyone. He pushed open the bedroom door. The smell of fresh sheets hit me, and in the corner, standing there like they were waiting for me, crutches. How thoughtful. He lowered me onto the mattress, carefully, like I was something precious. His fingers traced the fresh burn on my arm, all the way up to my forearm. I flinched, knowing what he wanted. Where could I go? Oh, it was on my arm? Oh, okay. Nowhere.
Does it hurt?
What do you think?
In a week, you'll get used to the scar, just like I got used to mine.
Don't do that! His hands reached for my body, roughly kissing every inch of exposed skin. I just sat there, unable to endure it.
We have a whole night ahead of us.
He pulled me close, kissing me on the lips. This bastard can't just control himself.
Yeah, it's a little bare here, but I already ordered some furniture. The rest I want you to choose yourself. I'll take care of everything.
I didn't care. He talked about plans he'd already made. I pushed him away.
You got off easy compared to what I could have done to you, ungrateful biscuit. Right now, we'll go back to the garage, and I'll continue. You won't have legs at all. I'll cut every cell, every thread of your flesh. Is that what you want?
I shook my head. I would have rathered that than my eye! No, I'm sorry.
And, by the way, I know about the pills you were taking. Am I so repulsive that you won't even have my children?
But how did he? I should have got my tubes tied. He started openly groping me, his hands all around me, the same hands that had hammered nails into my feet and blinded me in one eye just a minute ago, and then you ate that eye. That was my eye. You can't have that. He only whispered something in my ear. He wouldn't stop. His tongue left wet trails on my neck. Please, don't. I'm not in the mood, sweetheart. I have a headache.
Finally, we'll be together, like before.
I don't think we were very much together before. Don't! No! No! From exhaustion, from pain, I fell asleep. Ooh, you're lucky this is just the demo, buddy. The night was restless. I always had trouble sleeping in new places. The pain in my feet grew worse, probably because of the anesthesia wearing off. I couldn't move my legs. There was no way to stand. I looked over to where he'd been sleeping, to see if he was still there, but the space was empty. He had gotten up before me, probably plotting something again. Bright sun. Morning. Not that it mattered. After lying there for a few more minutes, I heard footsteps downstairs. The bedroom door opened quietly. He entered without a fuss. His bandages were fresh. He smelled of honey wax.
Good morning, my joy.
I said nothing.
Last night was the best. The very best.
I hope you can enjoy the victory with one flippin' eye. He leaned in and kissed me deeply, tongue and all. Ew, passionately. I pulled away.
I'm heating water for you. I'll bathe you soon. I need to treat your wounds again.
Sir, put those booba away. He reached for me to pick me up.
This way I can introduce you to my little creatures and bees. With them, I wasn't so lonely here. But now, I have you. I understand how you feel, but maybe you shouldn't dramatize it so much.
How exactly should I feel about this situation? Oh, thank you for kidnapping me and mutilating my feet and continuing to abuse me, Fedor. I'm so happy with this situation that's going on right now. Thank you so much for doing this.
Just look at it with different eyes. Why would you say that? Why would you say eyes? You know you ripped out my eye and you ate it. Why would you say eyes? We'll have a wedding, a beautiful honeymoon, lovely children, the best family life. You always dreamed of that.
You always dreamed of that. A chill ran over my legs. He sat me down in an old wicker chair and wrapped my shoulders in a soft, scratchy blanket. That same blanket. I wasn't in the mood for joy. I wasn't in the mood for life.
You don't need to make decisions anymore. Don't need to rush anywhere, because I'll decide everything for you.
He stood beside me. I didn't want to look at him, so I just stared into the distance, listening to his chatter as he stroked my head. He placed a glass of water and painkillers on the small table and went back inside, probably forgotten, leaving me alone in this natural emptiness. I'm just sitting on the farm, staring out at the wheat. I looked up, and for the first time truly saw my surroundings. It was absolute wilderness. Not a soul anywhere, just endless fields, tall grass swaying in the wind. A horse grazed in the distance. Chickens ran around the yard. I stared at the horizon for a long time, hoping to see some sign of civilization. Nothing, just yellow rice fields. Now I can't even look at my own face. It's disfigured. My feet are destroyed. I don't know how long recovery will take. And he looked more like a scarecrow you'd put in the garden to keep the crows away. He would wash me, bandage me. I didn't care anymore. I stopped being ashamed, stopped hiding. My body no longer belonged to me. I started crying. The empty socket hurt, but I didn't care. If only I'd pushed myself harder. If only I'd found information about him and turned him into the police. Why didn't I do that? Why didn't I find proof? But thinking about it now seems pointless. Curse the day I met him. Or rather, the day he found me. Sick, obsessed bastard. My screams and sobs filled the empty yard, but they drowned in the wilderness, reaching no one. It was an abandoned farm, a living nightmare from his dreams. He'd always dreamt of a homestead, of silence, of life away from everyone, and I hated it. I needed movement, people, a career. I wanted to build my own life, and I was almost succeeding, but he got what he wanted again. This was my payment for trying to escape. Somewhere out there, in another world, is anyone looking for me? Or not anymore? He knew I'd gone to the police. That's why he took me so far. I don't even know what part of the country I'm in. I had plans. I thought about the life I'd dreamt of, the one without him. I breathed in the scent of fresh air, not knowing what would come next. The end. Go back? Can I?
I love you, Espoir. So I'm pretty sure that for now that there's only that one ending. But what if I go back and do some other things instead of looking at that picture that brings up bad memories? Why don't I set that box aside? Better put this away somewhere far. I grabbed a quick bite, washed up, and sat down to rest. All right, back to the office tomorrow. All right, instead of going to the police, I could go straight home. I could go to the store. Yeah, what's at the store? Let's go to the store. There's a gas station nearby where I can buy tea. Chamomile. It's my salvation. Calms me down instantly. I stepped outside and headed straight for the gas station. By evening, it's almost always empty. The roadside was lit by street lamps. Up ahead, a bright spot flickered in the darkness. A familiar sign. The gas station. The only place on this empty highway at this hour. I get closer. The smell of gasoline. It usually terrifies me. Reminds me of that day. But right now, I'm too exhausted to think about it. It's just the smell of gas. Nothing more. Not a single car in the lot.
Empty as usual. Just a lonely trash can and the fuel hoses.
Right? Nobody watching me from the shadows?
I push open the glass door. A bell jingles, and a blast of freezing air from the AC hits me. I was met with nothing but cleanliness and silence. No sleepy cashier behind the counter. Ooh, tea. They're usually here during the day, but at night you can just walk in and pay at the self-checkout. Take it? Okay. My salvation. After finding what I needed, I head to the checkout. The red laser scans the barcode. I'm moving on autopilot. I don't look around. All I want is to grab my stuff and get to the bus stop as fast as possible. For a second, I think I see something flicker in the reflection. I look. There's no one. Strange. Must have imagined it. A creeping unease settles in my chest. I grab my purchase, shove it in my bag, and leave. Hey. A few steps from the door, I notice a black car. It's parked in the deepest shadow, just beyond the edge of the light. Engine running, headlights on. Someone's definitely inside. I didn't see this car when I arrived. I feel exposed. I quicken my pace, staring straight ahead towards the bus stop. Only one thought in mind. Get home, lock the door, and drink that tea. I take one step, then a sharp sound cuts through the silence behind me. A car door opens and closes. Barely audible footsteps on the asphalt, coming straight towards me.
Excuse me.
I freeze. Fear spikes through me, cold and sharp. That voice. I know it. I know it, and it terrifies me. I turn slowly, praying it's just a driver. Someone who needs directions. Anyone but...
Fedor!
In the dim light, he stood there, his silhouette too familiar. Too much like... Fedor. What the funnel cakes? I couldn't believe my eyes. He actually survived. He's standing right in front of me. Is this a nightmare? Am I dreaming? He starts walking towards me.
I've waited a long time for you to finish. Didn't want to interrupt.
That's very considerate. I stumble backwards. The empty street behind him feels endless. Terrifying. No cars. No people. No one to help me.
I found us a place.
Oh, that's great, Fedor. Good luck with that.
It's really cozy there. No one's gonna come and burn our little nest down again. You wouldn't do that again, would you?
He don't know me very well, do he? He notices me, looking towards the path.
You look anywhere but at me.
He closes the distance between us in small, deliberate steps. I want to scream. Please! Ow! Quit it! But his hand, wrapped in bandages, covers my mouth.
Shh! Don't.
I'm gonna. His other hand wraps around my ribs, squeezing the air out of me.
Calm down. I'm just taking you somewhere safe.
My feet leave the ground. He shoves me into the car. Ah! It's Fedor. That's his voice. How the heck did he survive? He's just built different. Okay. What if I just go home? What if I just go straight home? My shift at the office drained me completely. Thoughts of the stranger who came looking for me this morning gnawed at me, but exhaustion went out. My bus will be here soon. Once home, I felt the unusual, mild exhaustion. I was so tired. After my nightly routine, I turned on the TV in the background, just so I wouldn't be alone. I can't accept that there's no one here anymore. I really hope that with time, things will fall into place. When I got home, I barely had the strength to change clothes before collapsing onto the couch. Lost in thoughts about tomorrow, about my plans, I didn't notice myself drifting off to the monotonous murmur of the TV. Or somebody sliding through my window or something? A sound. Gosh dang it! Whose butt am I gonna have to cut for coming into my home? A dull, unobtrusive sound woke me. My mouth was dry. What the hoo-ha heck? The TV I'd left on had timed out. I'd have to walk in the dark. I'm thirsty. I slowly moved toward the kitchen, took a step into the doorway. That was highly unnecessarily loud! Blocking the hallway, A massive figure stood before me. The realization that someone had broken in hit me like a wave of pure horror. I couldn't even remember if I'd locked the door, but that didn't matter now. I just needed to know what he wanted from me.
Who the fluff are you? And what are you doing in my house? And more importantly, what do you want written on your gravestone?
A rough hand clamped over my mouth, cutting my scream off at the source. My heart slammed against my ribs. I didn't even have time to react.
Shut up! I didn't spend 6 months looking for you just so you could make a scene and ruin it. You really thought you could hide from me in this box.
The knife in his hand sent me spiraling towards panic, but screaming wasn't an option. It would be suicide.
It'd be stupid, and that's why I would probably do it.
That voice. I know it.
Fedor!
I tried to hit him, but his grip was iron.
We're leaving. Now.
But I gotta pack a bag. He leaned in closer, and I felt the cold kiss of metal against my throat.
We're going to the car. I already packed your things.
I was terrified, but disobeying him was a death sentence. There's no predicting what a sick mind like his would do. Fear paralyzed me down to my fingertips. He survived. Gosh darn it! And he came back for me. We left my apartment, and he guided me down the stairs, his arm wrapped tight around my waist, the knife pressed against my side. To any passerby, we'd look like a couple holding each other, if it weren't for the pitch-black night. My legs were buckling, but he was practically carrying me, not letting me fall. We stepped into the courtyard. The black car was waiting right by the entrance, tucked into the darkest corner. He opened the back door without lowering the knife. It's Fedor. That's his voice. How the heck did he survive?
Get in. Don't try anything stupid.
I'm gonna do everything stupid.
It's probably not gonna do anything, but what if I beg for forgiveness? I'm sorry.
I needed to apologize, make him believe I was sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for what I did to you, but don't start nothing, won't be nothing. I never wanted it to end like this. I was terrified. I didn't know what I was doing. I blame myself every day, I swear. My eyes darted around, my lips pressed tight. My head started shaking from fear, and he definitely noticed.
There it is, your true nature.
Now, his handsome face was just a scar. Fire had destroyed it. All right, what if I be a little bit nicer and touch his cheek? Hey, does this hurt? Does this hurt? Does this hurt? Does this hurt? I stared at the mess of scars, feeling a deep, consuming guilt. This was all because of my choice. My fingers were shaking so badly, I could barely control them. But against all horror and reason, I slowly raised my hand. I saw him tense up. For a moment, I thought he'd hurt me for my audacity. But I didn't back down. I gently pressed my fingers to his cheek.
Oh, feeling sympathy for the horrible, abusing murderer.
He looked surprised. His good eye closed with something like pity, and he pressed into my palm like a starving animal.
I've been waiting for this.
I mean, it looks sick, but, I can't forgive you. His hot breath burned my wrist. He took my hand in his heavy palm, not squeezing, but making it clear he wouldn't let go.
You're my only medicine. Only you can soothe this pain.
He was almost purring, holding my hand against him for minutes. Minutes that felt like an eternity. He rubbed against my palm like he was trying to erase the boundaries between us, to make my skin remember his scars. His blind eye stared right at me. That eye no longer saw the world. It only saw the darkness I'd given him. Poetic.
I only feel slightly bad for you. Like this much.
Well, I think that's all I can do at the moment, since this is a demo.
Just put Fedor in that small category of Yanderes who are incredibly scary.
He's pretty cute, though.
But he is really terrible. This is not the kind of relationship you want to pursue. This is not the kind of man you want in your life, and this is not husband material. This is not boyfriend behavior. This is black flag, run away, very fast.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
But if you would like to watch me play more visual novel with black flag boyfriends, feel free to peruse around my channel. And don't forget to like, subscribe, or interact in any way that's comfortable for you. It really does help out my channel a lot, and it brings us closer to 100,000 subscribers. Well, I'm going to need to play something light and fluffy and happy to recover, but thank you so much for hanging out with me. Take care of yourself, have a great night, and remember, there is always hope.